So, if you guys remember my How Ugly Dolls Saved My Life video, this part in particular is definitely like that. I think that it's definitely important to the timeline. This was during the 2018 part of that timeline, as I said, where my depression did definitely start. And I definitely think that that part of the story is definitely important, just like the 2019 story, and really how being a Trolls fan has helped my life. And this is what this video is definitely is for. This video is not a review of Trolls 2016 because I already did that. But there's a lot more stuff here when I talk about DreamWorks Trolls, and it's just definitely just a different look at everything. I think this is just more of a why I'm a Trolls fan, how did I get here, and I think you guys will definitely have fun with that. So yeah, this is the video. So much younger, real younger, music was like a huge part of my life. Like I could still remember being excited, having Playhouse Disney, if you remember when that was the name before it turned into Disney Junior. They used to have like volumes of like CDs, and I would have a blast picking those up because they were just songs from certain episodes of certain Playhouse Disney shows, and I would play that like crazy. Funny story. So, both my parents, they have drastically different tastes, and I absolutely love that because when Trolls sings a bop and a banger, I know what it is. um, but one part was definitely old school and jazz. The other side was pop. And I remember one time I was in the car and I was with one of my parents and they said, "Okay, that's it. We're not doing jazz no more." And they switched it over to pop music and my mind was blown and I pretty much loved and adored pop music at that moment in time. I'm like, "Whoa, okay, there are some good songs here." Me like um one of my favorite birth or not birthday but Christmas gifts was owning a boombox. I sound like a complete 2000s kid saying that one, but it is true. Owning a boombox was my favorite, and from an early age as a child, even to now, I'm an awful insomniac. And one thing that would definitely help me go to sleep was pop music. Also, kind of because I was afraid of the dark as a kid, pop music helped me not be afraid of the dark. So there's that also. And then like another year, because I'm a huge SpongeBob fan. One of my relatives gave me like just a tiny CD cassette thing player, and it was just it just had SpongeBob on it. I no longer have it, but that was another favorite gift. That was music, and they also gave me like a random volume of like Disney soundtrack songs, and it came with like half of the Tarzan soundtrack, which that soundtrack is bopping like I don't care what people say. I like that soundtrack. It's got bops. And then years later, I joined chorus. Funny enough, around that time, Glee came out.
I don't like you.
Fun. I don't like you either.
I don't like the way you talk to my boyfriend. I don't like your smirky little meerkat face. I don't like your obnoxious CW hair. I'm onto you.
Let's get a few things straight. Blaine's too good for you. New Directions is a joke, and one of us has a hard luck case of the gay face, and it ain't me. Odds are, by the end of the school year, I'll have Blaine and a Nationals trophy, and you'll have khakis and a lima bean apron and that gay face.
You smell like Craigslist.
I made the joke a while back. I'm not repeating the joke, but I also like Pitch Perfect. Insert joke about the cast of Pitch Perfect being in Trolls as well. Anyway, so we get around to the point where Zootopia was in theaters, and I completely skipped the trailers. Not by choice, because we just happened to make it just a little bit late to the movie, but like not too late. Like we made it to like the beginning of the movie. We just missed every preview before it. And I did not even look up any new trailers that were coming up for upcoming animated movies. I didn't do it. And so I get back to school the next day, and I was like, oh, hey, I saw Zootopia, and all my friends saw Zootopia as well. And the biggest thing they asked me was, did you see that cringe Trolls and Sing trailer? And I'm like, no, I didn't even know. I didn't. And they showed me the Trolls trailer, and I was like, I actually like this. Yeah, Guy Diamond whipped and nay but like I personally found it funny. Like, yeah, it's cringe, but like DreamWorks has been doing hip with the kiddos jokes for a long time, so it didn't phase me. But I was like, I really like these character designs. Like, they are really cute and adorable. I like what I'm seeing here, and if this is for, and of course, this was for a new toy line, I was like, yeah, I'm already sold for this. And like then like Can't Stop the Feeling came out. I was like, this is a bop and a banger. I can't wait for more of this movie soundtrack. And then we get to Comic Con, where we got all the news and stuff for like the Sound of Silence clip, the Hasbro toys, and that was it. There was no new trailer at that point in time, if I believe. I could be getting the timeline wrong, but that's what happened. And then my friend was like, "Oh, hey, um, I saw a Trolls trailer. Look it up. It's pretty great. The animation's pretty nice." And then I looked it up, and I was like, "Wow, okay, yeah, definitely seeing this movie. Cannot wait." And I chose to go see this movie opening day, and that is a decision I do not regret. Me and my grandparent, we had a great time with the movie. We had a really good time with it. Um, Watching Trolls, that is an experience I definitely wish World Tour got to have. But watching Trolls World, or not Trolls World Tour, but the first Trolls movie, I don't know, my mind was on Trolls World Tour since I said it. But watching the first Trolls movie definitely blew me away. And I haven't had that experience since the first Lego movie. And it's kind of funny bringing up the Lego movie because that's another toy movie. The animation, the characters, the bops and bangers, it just all worked for me. And speaking of just all of those things, the one song that in any Trolls review, I don't see anybody focusing on Get Back Up Again. One of like the original songs that was, not on the radio. It was definitely the song to promote the character of Poppy in merchandise. And that was it. There was like no radio play, there was no nothing. It wasn't like Can't Stop the Feeling in terms of original troll songs. And the song blew me away because, one, it's a great representation of the character of Poppy, but the troll's location. Normally in a movie, they would like to definitely kind of focus on the setting of the journey till like they stop and then they continue to further the plot. And Trolls wasn't about that, and it was, but because it's just this happy, funny, silly uh, musical movie, it just took advantage of being just all of those things and just put it into the song. But it added amazing world building to the Trolls universe. And, when I saw Poppy going to location, that was very diverse and different. I was like, wow, okay, there is definitely something special about this sandbox world that is the Trolls. And when I saw that scene, I'm glad I was correct. The TV show explores this. Thanks to World Tour, we got more trolls. We have like a full version of the Troll Kingdom map and how diverse everything is. And it's just amazing how far we've come since that song to the TV show to world tour, I think that it's very amazing how far Trolls has come, and just kind of my just amazement of just that song and how they use different backdrop settings for Poppy to go through. Hey, did you guys know that the music composer of Trolls, did you guys know that he also did the Frozen soundtrack? Yeah, that's an interesting little nugget of facts for you. So the one thing I always find interesting is Trolls is a DreamWorks movie. Now, it feels like a DreamWorks movie, like 100% through and throughout. It feels like a DreamWorks movie. But Poppy is just so fascinating to me because you contrast her to Fiona, who is very anti-Disney and what really just the Disney princess line represents. And then you look at Poppy, who full on embraces femininity and just the fact that she's a princess. She full on embraces and accepts that. And like that's what makes her happy and everything. That's what makes her her. And you also look at her toys that are just really super feminine and girly. And you know, when you think about a character like Fiona and her creation, you're just like, wow, Poppy is a DreamWorks character. Wow. You know, it's just very interesting because, you know, anything when you hear DreamWorks, you think Shrek. And, you know, it's just interesting to me. Speaking of Disney and Poppy, I think it's just funny how she isn't an outcast. She doesn't want to find something new. She is very content. She absolutely loves that she's the princess of these trolls. She has some great friends. She loves the community of Troll Village. She's very happy and content. She enjoys what she does. And I like that about her. And I like her attitude. I like her upbeat, positive outlook. Her naiveness can be charming, and sometimes it does definitely make her a flawed character, and I definitely like that. And I also like her sass. It's just very amusing to me. And I brought up her naiveness. And I like that this girl is just very flawed. She was written to be a character that was supposed to be ever growing with just learning different things about life, herself, etc. And I like what they gave her. I like that when Branch presents the idea of, hey, this party is a mistake, you shouldn't do it, she does it anyway. And when she's presented with the fact that, oh, crap, a Bergen did show up, this is my fault, she embraces the troll life. She embraces what her father, who's the king of the trolls, at one point in time, because he was the leader, she believed in the story of how the Bergens captured them and the trolls escaping for freedom. And King Peppy just wouldn't let trolls behind if they got separated or they weren't able to make it. He made sure that every troll was there and got to be free. And Poppy, even with the mistake she made, and even if her friends weren't the ones that were captured, she believed in no troll left behind, and she's willing to own up to the fact that, hey, yeah, I made this great mistake that endangered everyone. She is willing to own up to that and go off on this dangerous adventure off to a place where she might die and her friends, but she's not going to let her friends die because of her big mistake. And I like that. Since day one, when Trolls reviews came out, one of the biggest reviews was the fact that Trolls was Inside Out done bad. And also, I'm not going to bring that up because what do I look like? How Trolls World Tour is better than the original review by Falling with Style? Nah, you're watching a Speed Force Spectre video about Trolls, baby. So one of my favorite modern Disney movies is Big Hero 6. I very much love this movie. It is great.
That was his mistake.
The thing I like about Big Hero 6 is the sense of family and the way it explored loss and how a person deals with grief. And I like the idea that Hiro learned that even though Tadashi is gone, he's still with him and he has a current family that is willing to support and love him. And I like that. The thing I also like is the fact that it presented Hiro ignoring how he felt, ignoring opening up. And it showed the actions that could have led if Hiro did not open up and he kept his emotions bottled in, and it could have led to dangerous and toxic consequences of those actions. But luckily that didn't happen, but also Hiro got to open up about how he was feeling, and his support system was there to help and just help him healthy, help him in a good way to be, a good hero, to be the best version of hero he could be. And I love that. I have heard every hot take about DreamWorks Trolls imaginable, and one of them is always Inside Out, and I don't see it. I always saw Big Hero 6, but if Hero actually went through the not so great consequences of bottling things in, and that's where we get the character of Branch. Branch is what happens when you go years with bottling your emotions in and just feeling scared of any action you do and human interactions and being close to other people. Branch's huge thing was because of his traumatic past and losing his grandma, he feels responsible for those actions and he doesn't want the same thing to happen again. And that's why I love the whole true colors thing, the whole finding happiness thing. What Branch really needed was a support system and friendship. He went years without it, and friendship is what made Branch get his true colors and fully feel healthy. Branch is still this grumpy boy, this sarcastic boy who's definitely cautious and pretty prepared. But the thing he needed was the sense of relief, not of the situation that happened. That will still be with him, but the relief of knowing that he has friends and family and a huge support system to help him through everything. And that is what I love about this character. Also, the true colors thing, and also the finding happiness moral. I was always different, and I kind of knew that. I didn't know how to deal with that because I was just pretty much told, oh, you don't align to this box, you don't align to that box. This is wrong, that's wrong. And once I got older, like about middle school or so, I started to develop my own character and realize, wow, a lot of the stuff that's, family beliefs and all that stuff, that isn't me. That's not part of me. And, you know, developing my own character and everything like that, I had to hide my own character growth. And I had to do that for years and years. And then in 2018, when I decided to share a bit of, my character, my life that didn't, that wasn't my home, I decided to share that. And it blew up in my face. And one of my parental figures that we've talked about in the past, they pretty much every day pretty much targeted me every day and blamed me for so much, even the person I was, and made everything about me in a negative light. And it was every day, and it just would never stop. I would go days. My days would boil down to this: cry, act like I was normal and trying my best not to cry, cry, sleep, maybe cry some more, fall asleep, repeat. That was my day every single day. And one of my biggest things was I was afraid to open up about how I felt to others. Because for me, I'm the funny guy. I'm the one making all the jokes. I'm the one, acting like everything's a-okay. Life's great, life is great, everything's cupcakes and rainbows. But at that point in time, everything wasn't, and it felt so weird to just go back to that and act like I was the same Spectre I was when I wasn't. And that was the hardest thing to do. I did go to a few people, but it was only a few people. I needed more people to open up to and, have that sense of I had people to lean on. And my days would go by, same pattern of doing all those things. And I had just comfort things to watch at that point and just music. One of those things happened to be the first Trolls movie, and at that point in time, I was just so hurt and numb that I physically own the first Trolls movie on DVD. I didn't even want to pop it into my DVD player, so I just watched it on my phone at the time. Luckily, Netflix was there for the rescue of having Trolls on their platform, and I would just watch that under my blanket with my Guy Diamond plushie. And one day, something just clicked. Branch's character hid himself because he was afraid of opening up to people and what happened in his past coming back. And that's why he wasn't close to anyone. And even though Branch's situation is far different from mine, there was some sort of connection. When Branch opened up to the snack pack and Bridget, he started to slowly warm up to the friend group system. And then we get to the ending. We get to the true colors moment. And I felt like, for some odd reason, it clicked to me that time, and I felt the visual imagery that was going on. I felt that. I felt like I was relating to Poppy as well. She was happy throughout the whole film, and then you get to the lowest of lows, where her and her friends and family and all the other trolls started to lose their color. That was the perfect representation of my emotions at that point in time. And then Branch sings True Colors, which That was Branch seeing Poppy feel the same way he felt years ago, and up until that point where he finally opened up, Poppy's friendship helped Branch's friendship. And when the True Colors moment came into play, that was Branch's moment of returning that friendship when Poppy was at her lowest of lows. And at that point in time, I kind of knew that I needed to tell my friends what was going on in my life, why I wasn't acting the same way I was. And honestly, thanks to them, I told them, and things didn't exactly get better, but that support group, that friendship support system, that sense of family when I didn't have that, that was important to me, and I cannot thank them enough for that. But I can't thank Trolls enough for being what it is and being in my life before this moment happened. I kind of knew I needed something happy, something bright, something to just cheer me up even if I was down. Maybe not looking at it the way I did when it clicked to me that one time, but when I was watching Trolls, I knew I needed a burst of happiness. I needed funny characters like the snack pack. I needed Poppy's optimism. I needed Poppy and Branch's witty back and forth with each other. I knew I needed that, and also the bops and bangers. I knew I needed at least that. But the day that that clicked with me, Trolls grew into just a much stronger film for me and a very important film to me. After this, things did not get better, but it did boil down. It did boil down. Things didn't get better, but that felt of depression and awfulness wasn't there until 2019. And I feel like my Ugly Dolls video goes into more detail about that. So go watch that video because that's kind of like the rest of the story in a sense. Because of that, after that moment, I had Trolls the Beat Goes On, but like after that, I didn't have any more seasons, and I kind of just got into Trolls from like even more into Trolls from there. And one of the biggest moments from that is the Pink character video I released on Pinkie Pie, Poppy, and Unikitty. From there, everything took off. You don't have all the videos from 2018 and 19 because of the weird Copa scare, but if it wasn't for that moment, I would not be here talking about Trolls, talking about other things. I would not be here if it wasn't for that moment. And I can't thank it enough for making life better, making me feel happy, giving me that sense of telling my friends what was going on. Trolls is important to me, and that's all that matters to me, honestly. At the end of the day, I don't really care what other people say. I do. I do. But, I know what I like about Trolls, and nobody's gonna really put me down for it. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay that people don't like this movie. I'm perfectly fine. People don't see what I see. That's okay. Because Trolls help me in a way that I don't think anyone else could probably relate to. Anyways, I'm Speed Force Spectre, and I'll see you guys in part 2.
This is a story about happiness. How far some would go to get it, and how far we went to get it back.
Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky.
Thank you.
No, thank you
For what?
for showing me how to be happy.